everybody, I'm Vasel, and I'm going to talk about my favorite components, the production values of board games from 2024. Now, this is always an interesting thing because there are games that come with boxes big enough to move into and with gigantic pieces, but there's also small games that just do an amazing job. I like games that when you put them on the table, people stop and say, "What are you playing?" Or games with the pieces, when you move them around, it's just like a delight to play them. So here are my top 10. Number 10 is Video Game Champion from Arcane Wonders. This one's a little lower on my list just simply because I've already been giving this game props in previous years. I've been playing it for a while, or last year when it came out in Brazil. But I'm glad to see Arcane Wonders came out. This game has artwork on the cards that look like Super Nintendo cartridges. As you move around the board and then you take these tokens and they show just different video games, the magazines look like video game magazines. The whole thing helps with the theme, brings that nostalgia to life as you go around and play video games, and I really like Video Game Champion. Number 9 is the only game on the list I haven't played actually, but I still have a high appreciation for its components, and that is Dune: War for Arrakis from CMON. This is the only CMON game on the list. CMON puts out a lot of games with great components, but Dune: War for Arrakis, starting from the cover, which is a really neat, just picturesque thing of Dune, but to the different pieces. When you open this game and see the miniatures, and CMON's known for the miniatures, but these are smaller miniatures. When you see just the Arrakis and the Harkonnen and the giant sandworms that show up on the board, the cars, the tokens, this is just a really, really well done production. It's a sequel of sorts to War of the Ring. It's made by the same team, but the production elevates it to a game that a lot of people love playing. Number 8 is from Office Dog, and it is River of Gold. Now, this one here is a game I really wasn't expecting much out of. The game is called River of Gold, but they use gold embossing all over the board and cards in such a way that when you just put this game out, it just looks beautiful. Now, the artwork from the cards here, they're using the Legend of the Five Rings background, and I don't know a ton about that whole universe that they've used here, but it works really well. The artwork's gorgeous, the boats, the fact that the boats change in size as you move them down the river, the tokens and everything, the symbology, it just comes together to make a production, I think, that really pops. Number 7 is from Arcana Studios, Spark Riders 3000. Now, Spark Riders 3000 is a game in which you are all on a spaceship that's going to crash. Hopefully not. You're going out to do some sort of mission, and there's alien ships attacking you, and they do such a good job in this game where you have these pieces that your ship is a bunch of puzzle pieces, and that matters because a puzzle piece can blow up and you can lose that part of your ship. You have other little ships that come, and there's these little shields and guns that you put in them as they move around and shoot, and the whole thing, it's not an overly high produced game. There's only so many miniatures. You have miniatures of your characters, that's cool, and the guns are miniatures, but everything feels like it works. The gun is there. When you upgrade the gun, you put it on top of it, and the app, it really enhances that with funny music and funny voices, and it comes together in a really nice production. This is the kind of game that when I was a kid, I would have been just so excited to play. Really like Spark Riders 3000. Number 6 is Slay the Spire from Contention Games. Slay the Spire is a bunch of sleeved cards in it because the cards can all be upgraded to the other side. So the sleeves are necessary. So the sleeves are good quality. The art is from the video game itself, but they did such a good job at making this video game come to life in this board game version, and the components help a lot. Like, you need sleeves for this game, they're quality sleeves. You have cards here, you double flip the cards. They have the box set up so it's easy to pull things out. There's even ways to progress in the game, and they did a good job at doing something I thought would be impossible, taking this and bringing it to the board game world. Slay the Spire just looks fantastic. Number 5 is the biggest game on my list because there are some big, giant, amazing games with components, and this is from La Palette, and it's Agamonia. Agamonia is chock full. This is its own universe. where it's basically a dungeon crawl or an adventure style game in which you're going to have these characters, and they did a fantastic job at bringing, there's no humans in the game at all, but each of the different alien or weird races that you are, rock creature, they have a cool backstory. You have your own little book that tells you about that. And it all works when you're moving around the board. The symbology that they use shows. The minis that they made for the game are great, but the artwork is also really good. The components, the book, the scenario books, as you just open and play on that, which should be standard for games like this. And yes, there's a lot of pieces, but it's a production that feels really good when you're playing it and looks terrific on the table. Number 4 from AEG is Let's Go to Japan. I'm going to cheat here a little bit, and I'm going to push the deluxe version that they came out with. Not the super deluxe one that come with these little bowls, the little Japanese glass bowls, because that's a bridge too far for me. I'm not keeping bowls in a separate box. But everything else about this game just works really well. Again, how the symbols line up. The graphic design of this game is fantastic. The art in the game is fantastic. But how you play everything, the tokens that you move back and forth, again, this is that kind of game that when you put it on the table, and like I said, with the deluxe version, with the tickets and things, just it's a joy to play. The components to me enhance it here. Yes, it is essentially a game in which you're shuffling cards and putting them in order, but it is also a game that these pieces help that, and the theme and the pictures and the art and the graphic design all says, I'm seriously planning a trip to Japan. So I like that a lot. That's my number 4. Number 3 is from Devere Games. And if you know this game, you're probably expecting it to be on the list, and that is Rock Hard. Everything from the cover of the game to the components inside tell you, hey, this is a game about rock and roll. The money, now I am normally not a big fan of paper money, but the money in this game is great. Having lipstick on the front and numbers written on the back, it looks like actual money. They did a fantastic job on that. To the pieces, to the board itself and all the different places you can go to, the little record and tape cassette, and just the components inside here kind of elevate this game up. And yes, this is a game about rock and roll. It is an excellent game beyond all that. It isn't just about the theme, but this game does a good job at bringing that to life. Number 2 is from IV Studios, who always does an amazing job on their component quality, and this is Fractured Sky. Fractured Sky is a very good game. I want to be clear on that. I like Fractured Sky a lot. But those components. The fact that you have these magnetic pieces that you slip onto your board and the disc slides underneath them and you put it out there. I'm a huge fan of magnets. And this game does a really good job at bringing that magnet thing, which is a gimmick, making it work. As you put them out there, I wonder what number's on that disc, but it does a good job. It's magnetically attached. We're never going to mess it up. That is then the ships themselves and all the things. The production is just a really cool thing. I like Fractured Sky a lot. Number 1 for me was an easy pick, though. A lot of good games in this list, of course, from Wonderbow Games, and that is Kelp, Shark versus Octopus. This is not the most glorious of all the games on my list. It's not the biggest, but everything about this game is so well done. I want to applaud them on their graphic design here. From the shark moving around, that's a cool miniature, to the tiles that are the plastic tiles that you're pulling out. The card quality is good. The cards set up, the game is set up so well. The board is gorgeous. The whole thing just comes together and really does. I mean, I am playing a shark versus an octopus here. Everything about this game is gorgeous. And it just, when you put it on a table, I don't know. This was such an easy pick for me. I was so impressed with it. It's easy to pack up, put away, to put out there. Love looking at it. A fantastic game. Kelp, Shark versus Octopus. So those are my games from the highest production quality, I thought, over the year 2024, although there are so many games that could have made this list. What are yours? Let me know in the comments. I'm Tom Vasel, and you're watching The Dice Tower. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vasel.